Whenever you see juniors competing, at all levels, but especially in official tournaments, quite often perfectly normal children turn into complete and utter nutcases when they get on the court. Strong emotions take over, anger, frustration leads to screaming, shouting, moaning, crying, and general negative body language. Ball abuse, racket throwing, and even cheating can also be common. But after the match, it normally only takes about 5 to 7 minutes, and then the child goes back to normal. And also, adults aren't completely immune from this sort of behaviour either. Many coaches might disagree with my view that mental strength training should be the most important part of junior tennis development, or at least on a par with the other 3 key areas: technical, tactical and physical. Let me highlight 2 facts to back up my view. Firstly, tennis matches between 2 players of more or less even ability will often be decided by the player who was clearer in their head on their tactics, calm under pressure, and also more in control emotionally. And of course, those skills will also promote higher levels of confidence and belief. And secondly, mental strength training and skills are not just invaluable for tennis, but they're great for all aspects of life. Over the last 6 months, I've seen some incredible progress from at least 3 kids who have watched the mental strength training videos in my series so far, or been forced to watch them by their parents, and then increase their understanding and put into practice the advice and skills that they contain. So let's now quickly go over the videos so far and then add one more invaluable piece of advice that will help you to be mentally tougher both on the court and off. Video 10, which introduced the concept of the 2 selves, which is so easy to relate to.
That was the worst shot ever. What are you doing? You are so bad at tennis. This is pointless, just give up.
And also a great 3-point plan to help you to start eliminating those mental breakdowns in matches. You've got awareness, motivation, next you need a plan. Video 15, which is about understanding that your thoughts are what drive your emotions. And also some great advice about how to control your thoughts better by ignoring the ones that are about things that you can't control. Video 25, which had the #1 skill for mental toughness: no time travelling. No time travelling. And I'm not talking about Doctor Who physically travels through time and space. I'm talking about what goes on up here, in that really powerful thing, your mind, and the thoughts that come from it. The video also goes into great detail on this and finishes with an excellent extract from Nadal's book, which sums it up perfectly. And I'd like to finish by reading a short extract from Rafa Nadal's book, Rafa, which sums it up nicely. What sort of a bookmark is that? And also video 31, which looks at how to manage that important time in between points. First, forget, then relax, then plan, then rituals. And that video also covers 3 other very important skills for mental toughness to back up that #1 important skill: no time travelling. So let's wrap up the mental side of tennis by focusing on the second most important skill for mental toughness.
It was so cold.
There were too many leaves on the court.
There was so much wind!
The sun was in my eyes.
He was serving too quickly. I mean, his first serve would hit the net, rattle it. Second serve, the net was still rattling. I couldn't deal with it.
It was really windy, so when I threw up the ball, it moved around in the air and I couldn't really hit the ball for my serve.
You guessed it, the second most important skill for mental toughness on the tennis court is no excuses. Making excuses is a sign of mental weakness and an inability to take responsibility for your performance on the court. There's only one acceptable response to the question, why did you lose? And that's this one.
My opponent was the better player today.
Of course, a serious player will analyse their matches in closer detail, they'll look at tactical decisions and they'll assess all areas of their performance closely. Now there's only one thing worse than making excuses after a match, and that's making excuses during a match or even before the match.
I can't hit a single forehand in today! He's cheating.
Making excuses during a match not only means you're not taking responsibility for your performance so far, you're also already accounting for all the errors and periods of poor play that are going to happen before the match is over. Your excuse will become a self-fulfilling prophecy, and almost certainly you will go on and lose the match.
I was ill and I didn't have any energy.
Couldn't play properly because I injured my left knee. He's so good, I'm never going to beat him.
The same can be said of pre-match excuses. If you don't believe you can beat a stronger opponent before the match, then your chances, in reality, will go from being small to almost zero. And as for injury and illness, either you're fit enough to play, in which case stop moaning and get out there, or you're not fit enough to play, in which case don't play, that's fine, but no excuses. I'll see you next time.
I'm living in the lyrics of the songs I do. So I swear get lifted every minute that I sing it after rain. On my rights and the wrongs I do. Just chill, gotta keep it calm, my youth. There's a time to be real and a time to move. And a time to keep still, you be wise and choose. But the beat still, so it's time to slide and groove. Got ringers in my jeans, I put the iron too. And I feel drunk after all this wine with you. Got a jam, over, gotta hang. Over bad vibration flowing through my amplitude. More questions, no answer to. You're never sure, but you gotta keep it calm with your attitude. And keep it steady for the way
So, I should just explain about the weather. London's a bit like California. We have about 350 sunny days a year, but there's about 15 where you could get anything, like today. How's that for dedication, eh? In the rain, keeping on training. That's the way it should be.